You know, when I got this, and I just never thought it would come to this. Oh, I know how you feel, man, but it's not your fault, man. It's Kari Lettman's. Oh, don't even get me started on him. Don't worry, man. Embrace the tank, man, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. Hello, guys. Welcome to DSFR, and yeah, I'm not as surprised as you are. The Stars lose 4-1 against the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, they're tanking a lot better than the Vancouver Canucks right now. I never thought I'd see the day when we were out tanking Vancouver Canucks. But let's get into this game, and oh, how fun! You lost to the Vancouver Canucks. Oh, how cute of you, Dallas. Because there's nothing like ensuring you're out of the playoffs like losing 4-1 when you're in the supposed playoff race. Yeah, give me a break. Anybody who thought we would make the playoffs are pretty dumb at this point. 8 straight losses for the Dallas Stars. It's not getting any better. I know I said that last game, but then I thought that we could actually win against this team, but apparently not. Now, early in this game, Markstrom was phenomenal. Once Sagan got a one-timer, Markstrom made a fantastic glove save, and then Sagan was been on a 4-on-4. They were on the cross crease, and they had Sagan cross creased it right to Ben, and Markstrom made a fantastic save. Markstrom, early in the game, was one of the reasons the Canucks were close to winning and ended up winning. And Markstrom was fantastic in this game. I wouldn't say that he's the main reason for the Canucks win, but he was definitely a part of it, especially early in the game. And wow, another Meg goalie being God against the Dallas Stars? You wouldn't say. It almost seems like every single Dallas Stars game. Now the Canucks are on the power play as Janmark somehow finds himself on a breakaway. He goes and scores on a Markstrom. That is a long overdue for him to actually get a goal on a fantastic chance like that. And he's been missing the net a lot lately, and he finally gets it. Markstrom kind of looking weak on that goal, but hey, they'll take it nonetheless. Janmark was probably the only good Dallas Star tonight. I'm going to be honest here. Janmark had lots of chances, and of course he scored on them, but he was basically the only good Dallas Stars tonight, and he gets the only goal for the Dallas Stars tonight. Oh, but you like leads with the Dallas Stars? Yeah, sorry about that. So Jokinen, but Canucks are still on the power play, you know, the shorthanded goal by Janmark. The Canucks are still on the power play. Jokinen gets a great feed, but of course he scores, and you see Jokinen scores against his former team, the Dallas Stars. Hey, if you didn't know that, he was a former Dallas Star, because of course he was, and he ties the game 1-1. We go into intermission 1-1 now. We were kind of neck and neck with the Canucks throughout the first period. It was a pretty neck and neck game, which against the Canucks really shows you what the Dallas Stars are playing like. But it was pretty neck and neck, and of course I think it deserved to be 1-1. Now the Canucks are on the power play again in the second period as Dowd gets the puck, gets way too much room, just sneaks in there, and Carlin just looks stupid on that play. Just an absolutely terrible play by Lennon. Of course, the defense just choked around him. Patterson looking terrible on that play, basically leaving Dowd right open. Of course, Lennon not just sitting there like a brick, not even doing anything, isn't going to help them. And the Stars find themselves down 2-1 against the Vancouver Canucks. Tank inbound, baby. Now we go to the third period, and the Stars taking more penalties. That's not going to help your case, as the Stars keep taking penalties. It does not work, unfortunately. You know, the Stars taking penalties, it's not going to really help your franchise to win. And the Stars keep on going and keep taking the clock where they're not supposed to. Until Ham Hughes literally gives up on defense along the boards. Fontana is able to go onto the boards, put a wrist shot on nets, and, you know, hopefully Kari Lettinen stops that. I mean, he's an NHL goaltender, and he doesn't. That is vintage 2015 Kari Lettinen, allowing the weakest goal you could ever hope to allow. It was, I think he had his pad stacked, or not his pad stacked, but his pad on the ice, and he had his arms, you know, out like a normal goaltender. And I think it just slipped between his pads and his arm. But nonetheless, that's one of the weakest goals, if not the weakest goal that the Stars have allowed this season. That brings me back way too much to last season and the year before that. And the Stars find themselves down 3-1 to the Vancouver Canucks. I'm going to be honest here. I kind of expected to lose this game. But at the same time, if they're going to come back, they're going to somehow get into the playoffs. They'd have to start today. And that basically seals it. This game seals their fate. I pretty much knew that they're not going to make the playoffs after that Boston game, but this game really did seal it and just shut it down. The Stars just have a broken record of so many missed nets in this game. You know, they had lots of chances. They were playing pretty decent, but still A lot of missed chances on the chance that they should convert on, and a lot of them were missed nets. Tyler Seguin had a bunch of them tonight. He had lots of chances, but couldn't convert on his 40th goal of the season. And at this point, my only hope for the season is that Tyler Seguin gets his 40th goal. That's really all I want throughout this season now, because really I just want to tank. In all honesty, I think that's the best for the franchise. And of course, Tyler Mott scores the empty net goal, and the Stars are down 4-1. Ugh, this loss is not tough to handle because I kind of expected it, but just the realization of it, in all honesty. We lost twice to the Vancouver Canucks, who are bottom 5 in the league. You know, when we're trying to contend for a playoff spot, I know that in air quotes because it's really not happening. When we're trying to contend for a playoff spot, it's just the saddest thing in the world. This game was sad in general. I wasn't mad at anything. I was laughing throughout, to be honest, at how much the Stars were just choking in general, man. Those goals, I laughed every single time the Canucks scored a goal. I started laughing, and that's just what happens, man. This game was just depressing throughout, and it was just so depressing that it started to be funny. But yeah, honestly, I think missing the playoffs is best for the franchise. Now, I could go totally in depth in that, and that might be a separate video. But I think missing the playoffs and getting a shake, I'm not opposed to firing Hitchcock anymore, just because he's on a 1-year deal, so they'll only have to let him go. But I wouldn't be, let's say, overwhelmed if they fired Jim Neal. And honestly, he is a good GM, but he has made some terrible scouting decisions, terrible picks decisions, and of course the depth is a big issue. And if you would have gotten better guys than Gurianov, or better guys than Tufte, and better guys than... There's just so many instances where the Stars should have gotten better guys, but then picked the not-so-great guy, and they're really just choking for it and really paying for it in the depth departments, and I'm hoping that it gets better. But a lot of the key flaws that Neal has really been, I would say in the forefront in these past couple of seasons. Okay, Dahlin could fix all of that, right? Yeah, we're in the race for that Dahlin hunt. Vancouver, step out of the way. No, I wouldn't be opposed to a 15-game losing streak to end the year. You know, Dahlin chances, eh? At this point, I don't even care what the next game is. I'm going to watch it, but it's going to be depressing. And all I want for them really right now, I know it's sad, but I just want them to lose in all honesty. There's no hope in this season at all now. And this game just sealed their fate. And I like cheering for a win as a Dallas Stars fan, unless you're going to a game or something. There's really no warrant in doing that now anymore, because they lost 2 games that they probably should have won in these last 2 games. And now that you've done that in the tight race that you are, you know, it's the biggest flaw they've had. You know, they were in the race for a long time, and they started to come back, and they started to lose a bunch, and once that happened, teams that were behind them started to win a lot. St. Louis is hot right now. They're doing fantastic, and the teams behind them that were behind them a month ago have started to become fire lately, and this losing streak is happening while their teams behind them, or were behind them, start to get hot. And at this point, it's just a lost cause. There's too many good teams that are ahead of them now, and I think that's just cheering for a win, in all honesty. It might be for integrity, it might be for just showing off, but I know the NHL just kind of prevents rewarding teams for tanking, but I don't know. Dahlin could look good in this. I know that's exactly what Arizona Coyotes fans, Buffalo Sabres fans, and Vancouver Canucks fans do not want to hear. But get out of the way, we're winning this thing. But overall, just getting back to this game, you know, losing against Vancouver is kind of dampened by the fact that I'm kind of used to it by now from this last game that was, you know, the 6-0 loss earlier in the last couple of months. You know, I'm kind of used to it now. It was kind of less of a blow that they lost to Vancouver because they've done it before this season. And it was kind of a lesser blow than it was 2 months ago. That game was rough. But, you know, at this point, I'm expecting to lose. I'm expecting, unless the Stars win, which is pretty unlikely at this point, the next time the Stars win, I'll expect them to do better. But at this point, I'm expecting them to basically lose every single game. Because, I mean, they're on an 8-game winning streak. You might as well extend it, right? Can't fix everything. The Stars are going to have a lot of questions. But I'm going to go to bed because I want to actually have some decent sleep tonight. So that's going to, guys. Like, subscribe, and not ring that bell if you haven't. Tell me down below what your depression is right now, because it's pretty high for me, at least from a Stars fan perspective. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.